And welcome to this week's segment of Know the Law. Tom Sinas of Sinas Dramis Law Firm joining us as he does every week. Two words that people hate to hear, Tom. It's not all bad. Jury duty.
Boy, they are not two words that get people bouncing out of bed in the morning, right? So what is jury duty?
Right.
And what do you need to know about it, whether you've either been on a jury or you're worried you might end up on one?
Right.
Okay, so first of all, I would encourage everybody, and of course it's easy for me to say this as a lawyer, think positively about this experience.
Right.
The jury system in the United States is one of the most unique systems in the world, where you and anybody in the country can go into a courtroom and have your dispute settled by a group of your peers.
I love it. I agree.
And so when you get served for jury duty, of course it's natural to think, oh, this is the last thing I want to do. But remember that if it were your case, that critical piece of democracy that is jury duty, you would want available to yourself or to your family.
Sure.
Here's the other thing to remember. You get a jury summons, that's a court order, okay? So you can't throw it in the garbage. Now, it doesn't mean if you get a jury summons in the mail, it doesn't mean that you're going to be on a jury.
Chances are you're not, in fact, right?
That's right. Statistically, you're not going to likely end up on a jury. But what do you have to do? The first thing you got to do is read that summons and see exactly what it tells you to do, because different courts administer jury duties different ways. Some courts will require that you actually come to the courthouse on a certain day and go to a jury room and then be told what to do after that. Other courts have a system where you call in on a specific day or a specific series of days and ask if you are needed. Whatever it is, do it. Okay? Whether it's calling or showing up. If you have questions about how you're supposed to respond to the summons, call the number on the summons. Make sure you know what you're doing. So what happens if you call or you show up and they say, as a matter of fact, you are going to be in the jury pool today? Does that mean you're going to be on an actual jury?
Not yet, right?
Not yet, right? Because a whole group of people will show up to the courtroom, and then it's the court's job to figure out, where do we need potential jurors? And so then people will be moved to courtrooms where they are then potentially brought up for a process called jury selection. Lawyers call this voir dire.
Okay.
It's the same thing. What is it? Well, you've probably seen it on TV, or maybe you've been on a jury. How does it work? Well, each lawyer for each side of the case, civil or criminal, gets an opportunity to ask the jury panel a series of questions. Sometimes the judge does it by themselves. But the idea is to try to figure out, are there people on this jury who are better served to be on this case, or maybe shouldn't be on this case for one reason or another?
Absolutely.
This jury selection process can take place for hours. It could take place for days. The idea is for each of the lawyers to be able to make a decision about who's the best person to sit on that particular jury panel. The lawyers can have certain people excused, what we call for cause, meaning that if a juror says something that indicates that they probably can't be fair in that particular case, they need to go. But even after all that goes, lawyers have what are called peremptory strikes, which means that they can remove a potential juror for no reason at all.
Don't want them.
That's right. And only then do you finally get whittled down to the group of people who may actually be sitting in a jury on a civil or criminal case. So the message here is, be positive, respond to what you get, be engaged in the process. If you can find a way to make it work for your schedule, even though it's never convenient, understand that you're playing an important role in democracy.
I love it.
And hopefully people will be excited about getting that jury summons.
Be positive about those two words. I agree. Real quickly, Tom, as always, people need more information about jury duty or any other law information. Where can they find you?
They can find us online at www.sinasdramis.com. Give us a phone call at 616-301-3333, or shoot us an email at info@sinasdramis.com.
Good stuff as always. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks for having me.